So let's get started. I am Dr. Silky and this is Office Hours with Dr. Silky. I help you lose weight through fasting and meditation. I am coming live here every Tuesday to discuss a topic and then address any questions you may have. Last week, we covered what physical hunger is, what is physiological hunger. And today, we're going to talk about emotional hunger. I thought we would be able to cover both mental and emotional hunger, but the content I want to share with you on emotional hunger is actually a little bit too much. So we're going to divvy it up, and today it's emotional hunger, and next week it is mental hunger. I'm actually really excited to be here today, and I'm excited that I finally took my training wheels off. I am not wearing my hospital scrubs today, and I'm excited. I am flying. I am finally flying. So here I am, and we'll get started. So again, my name is Dr. Silky and this is Office Hours with Dr. Silky, and we will talk about emotional hunger. And I actually happen to have slides today, so let me share my screen with you. Okay, so today we're talking about emotional hunger. And so what is emotional hunger? Okay, emotional hunger is not true hunger. It's not physiological hunger. You basically are using food to deal with your emotions. You are using food as a substitute to actually feeling your emotions. And so we use food in essence to basically cope with emotions, avoid emotions, numb our emotions, hide, escape, reward, relax, relieve, distract, react, resist, celebrate, and really the list goes on. Let me give you a few examples. Okay, so you have a long to-do list and you're feeling overwhelmed and you just want a relief from this overwhelmed feeling. And so you go grab a cupcake, and you know what? You actually do feel a little bit better. You get some relief from that heaviness and that kind of feeling of overwhelmness that you have. So it could be good, I suppose, right? Is it? So let's go over some other examples, okay? And this one's a little bit on the subtle side. So you are feeling bored, and so you open up the fridge and get yourself some food, right? You have a tough day at work, so you stop at the drive-thru after work because you know what? I deserve it. Today was a tough day and I deserve this. Okay. Another example is it's late at night. You put the kids to bed and now you grab yourself a glass of wine and a drink, and you just use it to unwind, relax, right? No harm. Just using wine and food to relax. Okay. So these are some examples of how we use food as a substitute to actually dealing with the actual emotion. Okay. Another really good example is when you're feeling depressed after a bad breakup and you use food to numb your pain. In fact, you overeat so much because you'd rather have that feeling of being uncomfortable and stuffed with food rather than feel sad, right? This is how we use food to avoid our emotions. So what next, right? So we think we're getting relief from our emotions, right? But I want to tell you that there's actually no relief whatsoever. It's always a net negative. It is always, always, always a net negative. You're always worse off, and you pile on more negative emotions. There's actually no upside to using food as a substitute. Okay, so let's go back to that example of feeling overwhelmed. So you grabbed a cupcake, and yes, I did say that you feel relief, right? But hey, did that cupcake shrink your to-do list? It sure didn't. Guess what? That to-do list is still there. And you know what? You're feeling overwhelmed again, even more so, because now you're feeling heavy, bogged down. That cupcake didn't sit so well. So now you're going to waste precious time that you could be using to tackle your to-do list to actually sleep or walk it off. Okay. Not only that, hold on, we're not done yet. There's still more net negatives. So you've wasted time. And now you're always also feeling guilty because you went off plan. You were trying to eat healthy. Cupcake wasn't on the plan. So tell me, was that temporary transient relief actually worth it? It really isn't. It is not worth it. Okay. So then what's the solution? All right. So what I want to point out to you is that not being able to feel and deal with our emotions in the healthy way, right? That's the problem. It's an internal problem. It's a disconnect between the way we actually feel our emotions. So an internal problem requires an internal solution. And guess what? Food is an external solution. Food ain't gonna solve a thing. All right. So then what is the solution? So if the problem is that you don't know how to deal with an emotion, that you don't know how to feel a feeling, the solution is to feel the feeling. The solution is to learn how to feel your feelings. Okay. So is it easier said than done? I don't know. I've got a 3-step process. All right. So here's my 3-step process to feeling a feeling. Okay. The first thing is to become aware of it. So much of what we're doing right now to cope with our emotions is on default. It's automatic. It's ingrained in us. It's habitual. We have done it so often, so many times, unconsciously, that a lot of us, especially those subtle ones, we are actually unaware that we're doing it. So now that I've told you about it, start to pay attention, become more aware of what it is that you're doing. Once you recognize that you're actually using an unhealthy pattern of behavior to solve your problems and using the wrong solution really to solve the problem, then only can we have the impetus to change. Okay, then only can we change the way we're doing things once and only once we become aware of the problem. So number 2 is that you have to want to change this undesired, unwanted pattern, this unhealthy way of dealing with emotions. And don't get me wrong, so far, this is how you've dealt with it. And guess what? You've survived. You are here. You have coped and experienced so much in life, which is why you're here and you've survived. But now, if there's an option to more than just survive, okay, then why wouldn't you want to take that option, right? When you can more than just survive and go after something that you have wanted to do for so long, and that's to lose weight, to let go of your attachment to food. So why not? So number 2 is you want to have the desire to change. I can't force it on you. No one can force it on you. Only when you want to change it, then only you can change that awareness to actually a concrete way of dealing with your emotion, feeling your feelings. So the third part of this is to connect and feel. So what exactly do I mean by this, to connect and feel? So what are feelings? Feelings are just a bunch of unwanted sensations in our body. Nervousness in the tummy, chest tightness, heart racing. These are all just sensations and they reside in our body. The problem is we are so disconnected with both our mind and body because we are running on default, on automatic for so long and most of the day, that when an unwanted feeling does come, we actually go into flight or fight mode, right? Like we just want to run, hide, avoid, escape, anything to escape and avoid the imminent danger of feeling a feeling. Yep. So we're so freaked out that we really just want to run, anything to just get away from this feeling like that I'm in danger. And you know what? You're not in danger. You just relax, tell yourself you're not in danger, and you feel. So meditation is actually the best way I've found to learn how to do this. Mindfulness meditation. Meditation allows us to coexist with unwanted, undesired, unknown feelings that otherwise we would feel threatened by. So essentially, this is a skill to feel a feeling. It's a skill. The more you become aware and the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it. I want to tell you that I am guilty of everything on this list. I have used food with every single way on this list, except to actually feel my feeling. It was only when I figured out how the mind and body works. For example, how the mind freaks out so easily. And through meditation, that I am able to obtain mastery over my emotions. I can sit with that emotion and just be present with it and not feel like I'm in imminent danger and I want to run, hide, and escape from it. So this is the real deal. It took me a long time to get here, to be able to feel my emotions, to sit with my emotions, and which is why I am so extremely proud of my program. I use fasting, and I alluded to fasting a little bit in my last talk about physical hunger. And in case you missed that talk, you can go back and listen to the recording. And hey, while you're there, just like and follow my page. Yeah. So anyways, so I alluded to eating less frequently in my last talk. And essentially, I was talking about fasting. So it's through fasting and meditation because they both work in conjunction. Fasting will help you ease your meditation process, and meditation will make your fasting so much easier. So it's only through fasting and meditation and learning how your mind and body work, learning the science of why does my mind freak out. It's only learning things like that, learning the science behind it, then actually applying it so that you make your mind and body work for you instead of against you, that you can actually finally end your weight loss struggles. And I am here to help. So I'd love to be able to help you lose weight and do it through a process that I think works extremely well: fasting, meditation, and knowing how your mind and body works. So, like I said, I am more than happy to help. So if you have any questions, just DM me. Would love it if you join me in the next Facebook Live, which is next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And I would love it and totally appreciate it if you would go and follow and like my page. Thank you so much for joining me.